What's up, Internet? So I want to talk about my Amethyst experiences. Um, I had Amethyst as a kid, as the geode, but I never, had it on my body. I knew it was for psychic protection. I did some research on how Amethyst is formed. Amethyst is a quartz that has an iron inclusion. The iron is actually in its chemical makeup. It replaces one of the silica atoms with iron. And what's interesting about that is aliens have told me iron's better than I think it is. That's one of the things that came through is they're like, iron is better than you think it is. Because iron was always sold as the old metal. There was the Iron Age, then the Bronze Age, and that iron is just the dirt, right? But iron is actually important. So the way that it turns purple is the amethyst has to have iron in it. The quartz has to have iron in it, and then it has to be radiated, right? Where it receives radiation from something like uranium, thorium, radium. And only after being irradiated does it turn purple. And it's also interesting that it's turns white again by the sunlight. So definitely there's a debate and a question about, is radiation good for you or not? Does radiation give you superpowers or just harm you? It's a question. Sometimes people get irradiated and they get huge. Other times there's a deformity. So it's kind of tough to tell. There's people who've been irradiated and died. There's also people who've been irradiated and lived just fine. Nothing happened to them. So it's interesting. But anyway, so I had this weird experience, and this started my whole amethyst thing. Is I had gotten an amethyst bracelet, and as soon as I put it on, it snapped. I think I got it in the mail or something. And I was at a campsite and I put it on and it broke. And then this dude came the next day and he's like, "Oh, hey, let me clean your car for you." Because I had a bunch of cans. It's like, that's totally fine. Yeah, you can do that. I thought I was lucky, right? He ended up stealing my my video games, and he stole my Game Boy, and he stole my weed, which I found out that amethyst helps with addictions. It doesn't help with addictions by name, but it helps with sobriety. But I don't think it was the amethyst doing that, because I wasn't wearing it anymore. It broke, right? I think it was I was vulnerable to attack. I could have bad luck, right? So many years later, I never replaced the bracelet. I just accepted it was broken. Many years later, I tried to order these 2 amethyst bracelets just a couple weeks ago, and the order got delayed, right? And I'm thinking this is about psychic protection. So the order was basically undeliverable. I ordered from Amazon to an Amazon locker, and Amazon is telling me they can't deliver it, which is super weird. That's extremely weird. So what ends up happening is I end up getting a refund. Anyway, as soon as I realized I wasn't able to order an amethyst to me, I went out yesterday and I bought an amethyst bracelet. And it was super bizarre because I went to a gas station right after doing that, and 2 people came up to me at the gas station. One was this guy I was getting gas across from. The other was this woman who walked up the exact same time. He starts a conversation with me, immediately oversharing. And then she is asking me how to run the pump because she's from Los Angeles or California. His name was Cliff Rhodes. Obviously, I'm an off-roader. I think that's what made him like me, is he's got an off-roady name, Cliff Rhodes. And my car is obviously an off-roadster. And so he just wanted to talk to me. But yeah, it was super weird. It was the day I got the amethyst bracelet. I put it on, and suddenly, I've never had people try to talk to me at the gas station. And suddenly 2 people do it at the same time. The morning I got the amethyst bracelet on. That's way weird. Anyway, there was a third person. I was in this pump, and then there's an open pump right over here. This person is like waiting for me to get done with the pump. They could drive around and use the other pump, but they're not. They're like right on my ass waiting for me to move, right? So it was really 3 people. So I went to that gas station, and that person could have driven around. They didn't. They're waiting on me to move to do that. So there's 3 people at the pump. All of a sudden, I haven't had someone talk to me or visit me at a gas station pump in years. Nobody ever does that. Comes up to me. Nobody ever does that. But now that I'm wearing an amethyst bracelet, oh yeah, now suddenly. So has me interested. Has my interest piked. It does. And then, so it's just like that combination of things. And then that night I had the best dreams I'd ever had. I had a dream I got a major acting role and the girlfriend I wanted. My dreams usually go wrong. You know what I mean? My dreams are usually stress dreams where everything bad is happening. I usually have dreams that are like horrible, like, just like problems and stress, right? My dreams are not relaxing. My dreams are like teeth grinding, like, right? And last night they were good. Everything I wanted happened in a row. Anytime I wanted something to go good, it did. There was no interrupt, no like problem. And it's, I own Amethyst here. I've got this orgonite I made. It's got amethyst in it right there. That didn't seem to do anything. I've got a jar of amethyst by my bed. It's got quartz, obsidian, amethyst, and rose quartz. I've got a big jar of it by my bed. That didn't seem to do anything. But this time, I was wearing amethyst tight. It's tight on my body. Amethyst was touching my body. So I found that interesting that I tried to put on an amethyst bracelet and it broke. And then immediately I got robbed. Like, he took cans and trash. I was like, wow, what a nice guy. You helping me clean my car? That's incredible. I was like, wow, I'm so lucky, right? And it was at like this religious site, and it turns out he stole my Game Boy and my drugs, my weed, my bag of weed. And I was like, oh, how dare he, bastards. But anyway, what is interesting is like what I kind of want to talk about with the amethyst. So the amethyst is irradiated by thorium. I have this theory that obsidian is not a negativity crystal. It's a negative crystal. That obsidian is actually the bad crystal. And it's because obsidian can be used to make a knife blade, a really, really, really sharp knife. And so I have this theory that amethyst might actually be evil. And it's because amethyst is formed by radiation and from lava vents. Like you have to have a volcano to have amethyst. And volcano plus radiation will make amethyst. So it's super like powerful and interesting, and the sun cures it. The sun will turn it from being purple, which is so fascinating. Yeah, just having an iron inclusion isn't enough to make it amethyst. It has to be irradiated as well. So, yeah, it might be psychic protection. Amethyst is often cited as a psychic protectant. I don't really believe in the chakras where like the amethyst is a part of the crown and third eye. I think that might just be like made up. But I definitely believe that like there's something going on with it, because it's clear. It's like the day before I got robbed, my amethyst necklace broke, my amethyst bracelet. So that was my protector. My protection got shattered and I wasn't wearing it. So now all of a sudden I'm vulnerable, right? And then I tried to order myself 2 amethyst bracelets and they would not arrive. They failed over and over and over again. And then I finally get an amethyst bracelet on, and I have 3 people running into me at the gas station. I've never seen that happen. Not ever. And then I had really, really good dreams last night. I think it's a psychic protectant. I was thinking about who could attack me, and this is really what it was. I think it's some playground bullshit from when I was in Los Angeles. So I'm a little baby boy, right? And I'm like blonde and blue eyes. I had blonde hair when I was a kid. It's gotten darker as I've gotten older, but I had blonde hair when I was a little boy. And something happened. Like, it was like jealousy. Like, I don't know if it was a brown kid with black hair, but somebody was like jealous of me, both like from my family, like, you know, nephew of a director. I was supposed to be an actor. And then I got like cursed because these people in Los Angeles are Satanists. They do black magic. They'll hire demons to curse each other. So my parents are both Christian, meaning they're vulnerable to curses. The Christians are kind of just the suffer through it for heaven. Don't really fight back so you can go have the best afterlife. So it means that during your life, you're going to suffer. And they did. My dad moved us out of Los Angeles, so I didn't get to be an actor. And then he made us live at a street called Bob White Way, and then I got fucking circumcised, which is the worst. Can you imagine how weird it is to live on a street called Bob White Way? Like, to bob means to cut, right? To shorten. And I'm white. So Bob White? Who the fuck is attacking me? It sounds like a racist attack, right? Like, get rid of him. I don't want him. So, yeah, that means that if I was getting attacked psychically and I never wore amethyst, that means that I've, like, all my luck from the military to relationships to school to sports, all that luck was contaminated with, like, a psychic attack. Somebody was doing black magic against me. Somebody was hiring demons and causing me to suffer, right? And it's kind of the truth that if you just have Christianity, like God and Jesus and the angels, that you're not protected. Gotta get out of the sunlight. That you're not necessarily protected. So yeah, you couldn't like pray to God, couldn't pray to the angels. That wouldn't be enough to protect yourself from a real black magician, because those are open to you suffering, right? They're open to, like, anyway. So yeah, my whole life I never wore amethyst. I had a couple. There was this story where it's like, when I was homeless, I was asking for, like, hey, I want a job to get some money. And suddenly I got offered $200 to help someone move. And I did, and they paid me. And one of the things they were moving were these gigantic amethyst pillars, right? These pillars of amethyst. And I remember that it's like they didn't have any other crystals. They weren't like rocking any other crystals. They had these giant amethyst geodes, and I thought that was interesting. They also taught me that, like, when I was weak, they had this huge, like, metal mirrored couch. They had a couch made out of mirrors. And that was really tough to lift. I wasn't able to pick that up. And then they, like, really went into get angry with it. Imagine you're mad at it and channel that. And I did. I channeled the anger and I was able to move it. So that was interesting too. Not to deny yourself anger, because it's an essential emotion. So yeah. But it was interesting. I asked for help and it came. I got a $200 payday for like 2 hours of work, which was pretty good. And I was able to check out those like amethyst geodes, which was interesting. But yeah. And then just like the combination with getting robbed the day after my freaking amethyst bracelet breaks. Because the amethyst represents psychic protection. And so it's like your amethyst breaks and then the next day you have bad luck. Right? And I had an amethyst geode at home, but I kept it in a box. I didn't have it with me, you know. And so like my dreams were better than ever. I had 3 people come up to me. That never happens at a gas station. I don't think I've ever had a gas station conversation that someone else started. But this time it happened. Someone else started it. 2 people started it at the same time. Right? So the only difference was the freaking amethyst. I think that's it. So yeah, I've put on a lot of crystals before. I've put on quartz, I've put on obsidian, I've put on blue tiger's eye normal. I've put on hematite. I've put on a lot of different crystals, you know, wood beads, howlite. I've had a tektite bracelet. I had a cool tektite bracelet. And all these, but I've never noticed like the moment I put it on, there was a big difference, right? I had a tektite bracelet that was interesting. It was all tektite, but one of the pieces was a labradorite. And it was like an accident. Someone made it in the dark. I thought that was really lucky to get. Yeah. Tektite with a labradorite. That was super lucky. So hidden gift. My hidden gift was like art, obviously acting. I'm a good actor. But yeah, my life was an absolute disaster. I could have been a famous actor using my Uncle Rusty. I could have been like known and had girlfriends, just like my dream, right? My dream was I had an acting role I've always wanted. And I got a girlfriend I always wanted, right? And that happened in my dream. If very rarely do I have dreams that are just like, here you go, right? But it happened, right? I got that last night. And it was because of the amethyst bracelet. I think it was. Because like, how does Amazon not deliver to an Amazon locker? I ordered 2 amethyst bracelets. I was thinking about the time when the amethyst bracelet broke. And I was like, I should get an amethyst bracelet and try to hold on to it, see if I can make it not break. You know what I mean? And so I got 2 big ones, and it like, the mail was delayed. The mail was delayed, and they said it's undeliverable. The Amazon locker's on, the store is open, but Amazon is still saying, we can't deliver it, we can't deliver it. And I had to get a refund. So I bought the amethyst bracelet, and immediately at the gas station, 2 people walked up to me. That's just incredible to me. It really is like something else. So yeah, that's my amethyst story. Maybe since my dream was I was playing Darth Vader, maybe the dream was maybe the amethyst is an evil stone. If obsidian black is a perfect knife, then amethyst, which is formed from a volcano with radiation and cured by the sun, is an inward facing stone. You know what I mean? The outside looks like a rock, the inside is this beautiful geode, but all the points point toward the center. So it's a very interesting symbol of like real, like kind of narcissism. Yeah. Like really self-interested, like the emperor or somebody is, you know, there's tons of treasure, tons of value, but it's only for the person who has it. Right. Which is pretty interesting. So it's also occurred to me that amethyst might be a naturally evil stone, and these people are too positive and they can't see it. They think obsidian is for absorbing negativity. Obsidian is for wielding negativity. It's a great like attack stone, right? And then the amethyst would be like the evil layer, the evil wizard, like somebody who is self-absorbed, right? So I'd consider that as well, because it was about playing Darth Vader, which is that really a good thing? And then getting a girl that technically is with another guy right now. Technically, she's married to someone else. Teal Swan is who I'm thinking of. My favorite color is teal. has been for my whole life. And I'm a swan totem. And so this girl, Teal Swan, is out there, and she's like an intellectual with blue eyes. And I've always liked her, not like as a crush. I never once was sad I didn't have Teal Swan, but definitely as like that'd be nice. But currently she's like had kids with someone else, so that's never going to happen. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. That's my amethyst story. I never owned a wearable amethyst. I had a geode I kept in a box. I would ask for help and these giant amethysts would be there. So I'm wondering if I got psychically attacked. I'm wondering if it's not like a Satanist or a demon from LA, because LA does like animal sacrifice and Satanism for power, right? They want the universe to, they want evil agents to do things for them, like give them jobs or hurt people they hate. So I was wondering if it wasn't a racist attack, if it wasn't somebody who was jealous of my blonde light eyes, that they were, brown and black hair and they wanted to see me go down. Because that's how boys are. Boys hate boys. Boys are not accepting of another boy's sexual energy in the world. They always want to take each other out. And that's kind of like the vibe I was getting from it, is that just like how when the bracelet broke, a man robbed me, I was thinking that was probably a boy. The person who like made me flee LA or get circumcised was probably like an evil boy magician, right? Some Los Angeles stuff. So Christianity is not a good defense against that. The angels and God won't help you because that's a suffering cult. From my perspective, Christianity is a cult that's like looks like the truth but is a curse. They're trying to hurt you with it, so they want you to trust it. And so, yeah, I don't think being Christian was a good idea for my parents. But an amethyst is undeniably a creation that has a permanence. It has a touchable. You can touch it. It has qualities, and I really feel like it was the difference, that whatever force was attacking me wanted me to not have an amethyst. Whatever force was attacking me needed me to be defenseless. And that, using traditional methods of prayer wasn't good enough because they have like back doors, like you're going to suffer for God or he'll test you or whatever. So, yeah, I just find that really interesting. It just was a weird coincidence that I haven't had someone come up to me while I was filling my gas tank ever. 2 at once? What? Nothing was different but the fucking bracelet. So, I think what it is I think that, especially sleeping with it, touching my skin, that's the thing. I've owned amethyst before. I have amethyst in a jar. I have amethyst in a box. I have amethyst in organites. That didn't do it. It was having the amethyst literally touch my skin. And it's that psychic protection stone. It's supposed to like prevent psychic attacks. So what would a psychic attack be? Black magic, demons. That's like a psychic attack, like a long range, like I'm going to affect their fate and consciousness remotely by using like secret levers to give them bad luck, right? And that's kind of what happened. It was like I was defenseless, a young kid with parents who believe in suffering. I didn't have a protection. I had no one there to protect me. So, and I bought the amethyst myself when I went to the Gem and Mineral show as a kid. I liked the amethyst and I got it, but I didn't wear it. So I wonder if wearing it's the secret and you have to touch your skin with it. And as soon as my dual amethyst bracelet bounced, I knew something was happening, right? I was like, that bracelet broke and that dude robbed my shit. And I was like, so I need to get an amethyst bracelet. I bought 2 and they wouldn't arrive. Amazon refused to deliver it to a locker. It's their locker. It's the craziest thing that Amazon won't deliver to a locker. And as soon as that happened, I was like, I'm going to any store. I looked one up locally and I went to it and got an amethyst bracelet. Immediately, people are coming up to me at the gas station. Really, really, really friendly. Like completely oversharing, like family, right? Something I hadn't had ever, right? That's the thing, is it's not like people are always talking to me at gas stations. This was a fluke. This was something else. So it's the bracelet, the dream too. I had dreams that were so stressful. Every single thing happening was this annoying nightmare. I had dreams all the time I had to move. Can you imagine like moving, like you have to go to a new apartment and set up stuff. So I'm like dreaming I'm moving, or dreams that like you can't find stuff, dreams that you have responsibilities, right? That like dream responsibilities, like just awful dreams all the time. And last night I actually had good dreams. Things I actually wanted happened, and not confusing me. Not like they were hard to do or it didn't work, but it did work. So I think what it was is I had a demon. I had probably a human hired a demon to fuck with me. And I said earlier that it was someone who sold their soul, and immediately I saw like an amethyst just like in the air, right? So I think that's what it was, is someone sold their soul to the devil for power, and that was what the devil agreed to do in return for that. It was like, I will ruin this guy's life, and it pretty much worked. I definitely had a lot of really hard, bad experiences. And that lasted for, 30 years, 30 plus years. And now though, I expect it to be different. Yeah, now I expect that I'm going to start healing, and I'm going to get another, like, this bracelet's too small for me. Every bracelet's too small for me. But I'm going to get some big, high quality, like AAA quality amethyst beads, and get a lot of them, and then string my own necklace or string my own bracelet and wear like a lot of amethyst on my skin, like a big band of it. And we'll see how that goes for like a couple weeks or a couple months, wearing amethyst, touching my body. That might really change a lot. It was paranormal. The people coming up to me all of a sudden, I never have that. It's like blocked, right? I was blocked from receiving good luck. I was blocked from receiving lovers. I was blocked from receiving friends. Anyone I talked to was like catty and problematic and not really on my side. And that was over and over and over and over for years. I got used to it. That was my whole life, right? Like I said, I'm like blaming like a playground thing, or maybe the church cursed me. Somebody before I was born or early in youth had it out for me, and it just like I couldn't stop it. But if amethyst really is a stone of protection, amethyst, I've worn obsidian, nothing happened, right? But if amethyst is a stone of protection, then amethyst could be like really special, right? Like it could actually, quartz is used for like radios, and quartz is used for quartz is piezoelectric. You can strike it and it will produce electricity. Quartz is really interesting. It has like mechanical, physical properties as well as magical ones. But amethyst is another beast. I mean, it is a quartz technically, but it has that iron inclusion in its molecular structure, and it has to be irradiated. So it's gone through like growing next to radiation sources, which makes it interesting. It could be an evil stone. Maybe my powers of darkness have been enhanced. If obsidian can be used to make a sharp knife, then maybe the black obsidian glass from the volcano is truly a type of weapon, right? But I think it's something that was always attacking me. There was some evil presence that was always ruining my fucking life. And for the first time ever, it's blocked. And it totally changed my luck. It changed my dreams. That's the truth. Wearing the amethyst totally changed my luck, totally changed my dreams. it's just too coincidental. My bracelet broke and then I got robbed. I should have listened to it. The bracelet breaking, I was like, oh, this is for psychic protection. Snap. Oh no, what does that mean? It means you're not psychically protected. It means that the thing attacking you psychically won, right? It means that your method to stop it failed, and then something bad happened. So it's like as soon as those two bracelets bounced, they couldn't deliver the two bracelets. I was like, okay, now this is funny. I wonder what the person who refused to deliver it looked like. Was it a man? Was it a woman? What was their complexion? I want to know. Probably will never know, but yeah. Anyway, amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna work with Amethyst and make like a big thing with it, and then eventually I want to get like a gold bead, a pure gold bead. I think me owning like a pure gold Cuban chain or owning a pure gold anything else is unreasonable, but like a pure gold bead with like maybe something like a green stone would be really cool. Pure gold bead on its own, like maybe its own rope or whatever, might be kind of cool. But yeah, it was nuts though. It was just too coincidental. The bracelet broke. I got robbed. I tried to order these two bracelets. They wouldn't come. I like panic drove. I like emergency drove to a crystal store. I was like, get me an amethyst bracelet. And as soon as I did, these people were so nice to me. Just, you can't make that up. That was just really what it was. It was really crazy. And then I had really good dreams. That was the last thing about it. My dreams did what I wanted. I was no longer dreaming, having bad dreams of bad things happening. I just got used to that. It just was like, that's one of the reasons I used to get like completely like blacked out drunk, was because I wouldn't dream. I would be able to like skip all the fucking stress. So how many years has it been like, and then when I got that job, they had giant amethyst pieces. So how many years has it been since like, I've got to wear more amethyst. It's not too expensive. You can get some really high quality beads from anywhere for like, $9 to $30. So, to make like a really big like necklace or bracelet strung myself might be like, less than $100. And for something that could like change my destiny, that's definitely worth it. Like one of the reasons I'm so interested in it is it's going to change my destiny. And yeah, I want to work with other crystals later. And yeah, I've worked with other crystals before, but the amethyst was the big deal. The amethyst is the only bracelet that broke. The amethyst refused to be delivered, and the amethyst showed up, or the amethyst made this huge event happen. So that means it was like a psychic attack. That was my problem, was like somebody was freaking cursing me and I couldn't stop it, right? And by having the physical merger of amethyst on my skin, however that works, I became immune to it. So it's an interesting property stone. It is a quartz. It's an irradiated iron infused quartz. Iron that's been hit with radiation becomes purple. Just super interesting. But the sun can purge it, which is why I'm like, is it secretly evil? I don't know. Whatever. I'm exhausted. I wanted to share. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you end up using amethyst in your own life. I don't know if it's enough to have it around you. I think it has to touch your skin. That's kind of like what I add, is that in your pocket, no. On jewelry, no. I wouldn't even facet it in a ring. Physically strapped on your skin and the amethyst are touching, yes. On your table, no. It's gotta be touching your body. Which is different than other people say, but like, I had a jar of amethyst next to my bed. I have a box of amethyst. I have a, amethyst in my organites. That didn't do shit. Amethyst on my wrist, though. Yeah, I had when the amethyst bracelet broke, I put it in a bag and like I thought I had it in my pocket, but that apparently wasn't enough. So it snapped. Usually they don't snap. I've had these bracelets for a few months, even through like moving, and they haven't snapped. So I think it's pretty interesting. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's my report. Really, really crazy synchronicities from my life that like this the weird dreams and the inability to attract new interested people into my life. I felt like I was basically never ever going to meet someone who wanted to hang out with me. It was like this horrible feeling, that anyone in my life was always going to use me. And I just feel like a man did it. I feel like it's like boys hate boys. They're just they always think they're better than each other, and they're fucking, if I want to be like a famous actor or something, then all the other boys who want to do that are going to try to take me out, right? It's like, you're not great, I'm great, that sort of thing. And so it's like, especially in LA where people are Satanists, could have caught a demon. Someone could have done a blood sacrifice. Someone could have sold their soul. And so I had a nasty demon following me my whole life, ruining everything. And it's like, praying to God did nothing. Praying to angels did nothing. Wearing amethyst on my skin, that did it. Wearing other types of stones did nothing. I wore howlite, I wore tektite, I wore obsidian, I wore quartz, I wore wood, I wore angel aura, I wore rainbow quartz. I wore a lot of different stones. Tiger's eye, hematite. Nothing did it. Amethyst did, though. Amethyst had like this huge like life change. Those dreams were good. I'm excited to sleep again. I am. I'm excited to take another couple naps. That dream is so healing. Oh man, I slept so freaking good. Not only did I sleep good, but I was like synchronistically lucky. It was cloudy in the morning, so I could sleep in. There was no sun all morning. It was super lucky. So yeah, I think I'm going to take a nap right now. This was fun to make. I wanted to record this, that I just had a crazy experience with amethyst. I've been looking up amethyst, like mystical properties. No one's mentioning psychic protection, but I remember it being about psychic protection. They don't mention psychic protection, and they also say you can just keep it in your pocket in a bag. And I'm like, no, it's psychic protection, and you have to touch your skin with it. It's like, if you want amethyst to work, it has to be on your body. You can't just like have it in the room with you. That's not enough. So yeah, that one bracelet broke, but the second two couldn't be delivered. And then as soon as I put the bracelet on, 3 people get me at the gas station. It was a woman from LA, a dude who was like, his name was Cliff Rhodes, who was like a singer apparently. And then the person behind me just like was waiting for me to leave really close instead of taking the open pump, right? It was like they didn't know there was an open pump. They were just like comically stuck behind me for no reason. So yeah, it was 3 people magnetized into my aura the next place I went. It's just crazy. That's crazy. And the only difference was amethyst. So yeah, I'm going to experiment with a lot of ones. I mean, given what I experienced today, I'm not really a big crystal bead wearer. I would usually have like a necklace or an A bracelet, and then I would like lose it. But now I'm going to take it seriously. Now I'm going to make some pretty serious bracelets, for like changing my energy field, things on my skin. So if a quartz can be used in radio, and if a quartz can be used to create electricity, and if I've seen a crystal skull rubbed with a magnet, it looked like it had brain filaments. So yeah, there's magic in these rocks. The rocks from the earth, they're more than nothing. They're more than just incidental stuff. There's something about them that's like purposeful, maybe even universal. It wouldn't surprise me if a lot of these elements that we use in our uh, life, these life elements that we have are universal. They'll appear anywhere. Like how there's mountains in every planet. Every planet with rock has mountains. That anywhere you go, there'll be things like what we see in that range, right? The sky and the mountains and stuff. That other planets will have that too. There'll be mountains and peaks and maybe even snow on other planets, which is a crazy thing to think about. But yeah. Anyway, I'm done yapping for now. Thanks for listening. That was my Amethyst report. All the things about it is the Amethyst seems to have broken a bad luck spell in my life, and it seemed like the bad luck spell was intent on me not getting Amethyst. It wanted me to be separate from that force. So combining it with my body definitely changed a lot. Yeah. So I'm going to keep it. Man, I just had so many horrible stress dreams. Everything would always go wrong. And I actually had good dreams last night. Everything went right. Everything went right in my dream. It wasn't stressful. It was like old threads that were like either unclosed or went wrong were like resurrected and made right. Right. And it's the Amethyst. So I just got a lot of respect for it. I don't think you can simply own it. My method is definitely put it in beads and wear it. Wear the amethyst beads. So eventually when I'm done with amethyst, I'm going to get rose quartz and like, I'm going to get a real gold bead and wear it with like some aventurine or something. Maybe jade. And yeah, getting a pure 24 karat bead touching my skin would be good for me. Or gold earring maybe. Gold. I don't own any gold. I don't normally. I have the gold powder. It's supposed to be real gold. It's like the gold leaf. I use the gold leaf. I think that's real gold. Monoatomic. Hey, gold you can buy for $5. Is it real? Or is it colored foil? I think it's real. Anyway, I am really gonna go now. Yeah, that amethyst bracelet changed my life yesterday. And it was interesting. It was like the universe was stopping me from getting it. I just had such bad luck moving to Bob White Way, getting circumcised. You got circumcised and you live on Bob White Way? That's like double. They're telling you they have it out for you, that they're attacking you, right? Yeah, don't expect God to help. God will let you suffer. It's like a test, right? So you want to stop the suffering? Get amethyst. Yeah, they say it promotes calmness and like emotional healing too. Maybe that's what it was. It can help with relationships. Maybe that's what it was. But I'm pretty sure amethyst was known as the psychic protection stone, that it's like, it stops psychic attacks, and that's what it's known for. Or it's the stone of evil, and obsidian is the dark stone, right? That those don't stop negativity, those wield negativity. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to go. I've yapped enough. Thanks.